You know that space right above our heads, the attic? It's where we shove the things we want to forget. But sometimes, it's also where the most unsettling stories begin. Today, we're cracking open the case files on 3 true accounts that all share one single terrifying location.
Okay, let's just dive right into the feeling at the absolute heart of our first story with this quote. See, it's not about what you can actually see in the dark. It's about what you feel is hiding there, just on the edge of the light.
So before we can even get into what happened in our first case, we have to talk about the stage it was all set on. Because this wasn't just any attic. Its very design was like a blueprint for fear. And this, right here, shows you how the physical space itself created this constant low-level dread. So forget about a small cramped box. This attic was huge, but the problem was, it was a maze. A total mess of support beams and sudden drops in the flooring meant you could never, ever see from one end to the other. It created like 100 perfect hiding places. The narrator's father even used to joke that someone could fall right through the floor. It was that dangerous.
All right, let's open our first case file. Now, this story doesn't start with some big scare. Nah, it begins with this quiet, creeping dread. Just a series of small, really confusing events that slowly build into pure terror for a little boy.
So this timeline just lays out the dawning horror as this kid's reality starts to come apart at the seams. It starts super small, dirty feet, easy to explain away. But then, a box of old photos from the attic is suddenly just in his room. Then a lamp shows up. He figures it out, he's sleepwalking, and he's going up there. And the real climax hits when he snaps awake, not in his bed, but standing bolt upright in the absolute suffocating blackness of that dangerous space. And that brings us right to the heart of it, the core question of this case. Was this just a really disturbing but totally explainable medical thing? Or was there something else at play in that maze of shadows with him? Now, what's so fascinating here is this direct clash between logic and what he actually experienced, right? His parents have the rational take, kids sleepwalk, no big deal. But then you look at the evidence that just doesn't fit. How in the world does a sleeping kid navigate that hazardous maze without falling? And the most chilling part? On that last night, he wasn't alone. He heard it. The clear sound of footsteps, of weight shifting on the floorboards, in the darkness, with him.
Okay, let's move on to our second case. This one uncovers a story of madness, one that was literally sealed inside the walls of a family home for who knows how long, and it all started with a search for Christmas decorations.
So while he's up there looking for holiday stuff, the narrator finds this heavy, black box. Inside, a journal from a previous owner, and the mystery starts right here with this really chilling obsession. The person who wrote it had measured the attic over and over and over, totally convinced that there was missing space, unaccounted for space, along one specific wall. And this is where the journal entries just take a nosedive into paranoia. The author starts documenting these terrifying sounds, scratching, this heavy, labored breathing that seemed to be coming from that impossible missing space. He even puts in these super detailed timestamps like 2:14 a.m., scratching for approximately 3 minutes. Just wild. So, and this is the crucial point. You see this complete mental breakdown on the page. The frantic but, coherent writing just stops. And it's replaced by page after page of nothing but tally marks, just obsessively counting something, until the writing just disappears altogether. So, following this sort of map to madness from the journal, the narrator and his dad take these really dramatic steps. They find the wall, they see the same faded marks the journal described, and his dad just makes the call to tear it down. And behind it, there it is, the impossible space. A hidden, forgotten room, completely empty, except for these strange black lines and symbols that are covering every single inch of the walls. Our final case file is maybe the most visceral. And it doesn't start with a bang, but with a flicker of doubt. Just a fleeting glimpse of movement in a tiny attic window during a late-night routine. So the narrator has this whole routine. Every night, he walks his property, has a smoke. He's looked up at that little attic window 1,000 times. But this one night, he sees it. Just a flicker. He tries to brush it off, but the next night he sees it again, and this ice-cold certainty just washes over him. Something is in his attic.
When he finally works up the nerve to go investigate, the scene is just pure chaos. The whole attic is completely ransacked, but what's worse is that the walls and the floor are smeared with this thick, wet, black goo. Kind of looked like paint, still dripping in some spots. And his mind, of course, leaps to the most terrifying, logical conclusion. There's an intruder in his house, right now.
So he clears the entire house, room by room, finds nothing. And then he hears it. Heavy thumps and a dragging sound from directly over his head. The intruder never left. So fueled by this crazy mix of terror and rage, he grabs a knife, storms the attic, screaming, only to find it completely, utterly empty. And this is the point. This chilling, impossible contrast. The sounds have stopped. The intruder is gone. The attic is empty. But they, or it, left something behind. Something that just should not exist. And this right here is where reality just completely fractures. So now there are these deep, fresh gouges carved into the beams and the floor. But, and get this, these new scratch marks are layered on top of that black stuff that was still wet just moments before. How could scratches be made with nobody there to make them? And how could they appear in an empty room? It's a total physical paradox, evidence that just defies all logic. Okay, so we've got 3 cases, 3 attics, 3 deeply unsettling experiences. But these are more than just, isolated scary stories. When you really look closer, a really disturbing pattern starts to emerge. A specific kind of psychological horror that goes way beyond a simple jump scare. This table lays the pattern out so clearly. Each story centers on a mystery that just can't be explained away rationally. And in every single case, some authority figure, parents, a grandfather, the police, either dismisses the whole thing or offers up this neat little explanation that just doesn't fit the facts. And the result? It's a permanent psychological scar, a doubt that can never ever be resolved, because they know the official story isn't the whole story. So when it's all said and done, the true horror in these cases isn't the footsteps in the dark, or the marks on the wall, or the phantom intruder. It's the breakdown of reality itself. It's being left with impossible evidence and an unanswered question that shatters your sense of a logical, safe world. The thing that lingers isn't the fear of what might have been in the dark, but the chilling, permanent realization that you will never, ever truly know.